Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the recent love and support y'all have been showing me on my Starfield videos. I greatly appreciate it. And on my last video, I asked everyone to beat my previous video by getting it to 10 likes, and you guys went absolutely insane and got it all the way up to 37. So thank you guys so much. I wasn't expecting so much positive feedback and likes and support on that video. So thank you guys so much. How about we beat the last video? Not by too much. Let's not go crazy here. And let's try getting this video to 40 likes. I'd greatly appreciate it. This is going to be my first official lore video. Now that we got some concrete lore from Bethesda, I will be doing more of these once the game is actually out and once I've learned, once we're all going to be learning together. It's going to be the fun part. But once I know more about the lore, I will be making more of these videos. But for now, I'm just going to make this first one until the game is out, because we probably won't have any more concrete lore information until the game is out. So, with that being said, hope everyone has a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. And let's get right into it. Here is what we know about the history of Starfield so far. Welcome to my first Starfield lore video. To start the video off, I'm just going to say all of this information is provided publicly on the Bethesda.net website. If you just do Bethesda.net/game/Starfield and scroll down, you will get brought to this timeline for those of you who would like to explore it yourself. Now, before we start, I do want to say that when we begin Starfield, the year is going to be 2330, so 2330 AD. But for the sake of the timeline, we are going to be going all the way back to the year 2050. Humans first arrive on Mars. By the year 2100, humans are living in space. 2156. Humans arrive in Alpha Centauri, 4.37 light years away from Earth. Then 3 years later, in 2159, the United Colonies are established. 1 year later, in 2160, New Atlantis is founded and becomes the official capital city of the United Colonies 1 year later in 2161. 2167. Cheyenne is settled by Solomon Coe, who founds its first settlement, Aquila City. In 2188, Solomon Coe invites Voli to join Cheyenne in a new alliance, the Freestar Collective. The Freestar Collective is officially formed 1 year after, in the year 2189. 6 years after that, in the year 2194, the United Colonies positions the star station called the Clinic in orbit around planet Deepala in the Narion system. The unaffiliated peoples of the Narion system see this as a United Colonies' attempt to expand their borders and demand the UC to remove the Clinic. When the UC refuses, the people of Narion vote to join the Freestar Collective, who mobilize to protect the system in 2195. In 2196, in response to the Freestar mobilization, the UC moves a fleet into Narion system, and Freestar responds in kind. The Narion War begins. The war drags on and public sentiment sours. Shortly after, the Treaty of Narion is signed by the UC and Freestar Collective in 2216, ending the conflict. In this moment, the term settled systems is formalized within the treaty. 2221. The Freestar Rangers are founded as an elite protective and investigative force dedicated to serving all citizens of the Freestar Collective. 2275. Constellation is formed by Sebastian Banks. Original members include Chloe Bao, accomplice physicist, Asia Mimasa, the youngest member and Sebastian's protege, Darius Andres, botanist and specialist in xenoflora, Bernadette Laurent, wealthy heiress and adventurer, Everardo Gill, former smuggler, Kadri Toma, biologist and physician. The Lodge has built a new Atlantis to serve the needs and people of Constellation for generations to come. Now I know those aren't real people per se, but I probably botched those names. My apologies. Let's fast forward to 2305. Barrett joins the Constellation. A couple years later, in 2307, the Freestar Collective begins farming on the planet Vesta in the Lunara system. By 2308, the United Colonies claims that by establishing a colony in a fourth star system, the Freestar Collective has violated the Treaty of Narian. Diplomatic talks break down and the UC lays siege to Vesta, killing anyone who stayed behind or who was brought in to defend it. In this moment, the colony war officially begins. 3 years later, in the year 2310, Constellation comes into possession of their first artifact and tucks it away into the Constellation archives. 1 year later, in 2311, after several years of conflict, the colony war effectively comes to an end with the Battle of Cheyenne, as a flotilla of civilian and military Freestar Collective ships takes down the major ships of the UC Navy using hit-and-run tactics. Because of this, in the year 2315, the UC Vanguard is founded. It was founded as a response to the Freestar Collective's use of civilian ships during the Colony War, and the Vanguard is the UC's own civilian navy, relying solely on civilian ships who pledge to protect the United Colonies and its interests. The most valued reward for this service is citizenship within the United Colonies. 2319. Sarah Morgan becomes the youngest head of the UC Navigator Corps, though it's a short-lived position as the division is shut down just 1 year later in 2320. Cast adrift but still eager to put her training to good use, Morgan joins the Constellation team. 2 years later, Walter Stroud, co-owner of Stroud Eklund, one of the Settled System's premier starship manufacturers, joins Constellation and becomes its primary financial backer. 1 year later, in 2322, former Crimson Fleet pirate Vladimir Saul joins Constellation, and then 3 years following that, in 2325, Sarah Morgan becomes acting chair of Constellation. In that same year, theologian Matteo Catri joins Constellation, and the year after that, in 2326, Barrett finds the original artifact in the Constellation archives and senses that something must be special about it. In the same year, after months of correspondence with Sarah Morgan, graduate student and gifted scientist Noel is invited to join Constellation. In 2327, Freestar Ranger Sam Coe and his daughter Cora join Constellation. Then in 2328, Andrea joins Constellation, and within the same year, Barrett convinces Constellation to purchase Star Station L868 and modify it to become a deep space scanner, nicknamed the Eye. Fast forward 2 years to 2330, and Starfield begins. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I kind of experimented with these lore videos with the Fallout ones I made about a month or so ago in preparation for Starfield, and just because I love Fallout a bunch, and I am very busy in my personal life, so I haven't been making lots of lore videos for Fallout. But I'm not going to drag this video on too much longer. Long story short, I put a lot of work into this video, and I plan on putting a lot more work into a lot more videos in the future. Once Starfield is finally in our hands, we just got, what, like 18 more days in terms of, or as of when this was recorded, and I am so hyped. I know not everyone feels the same, but for those of you who do, that's probably why you're watching, and thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and like I said, let's try to beat my last video. Let's get this one to 40 likes. I would greatly appreciate it. Even if we don't, I appreciate you guys either way, regardless. Yeah, so until the next video, I will have more Fallout or Elder Scrolls skits up this weekend as usual. And I believe we got, what, Texas Chainsaw coming out Thursday or Friday? Stay on the lookout for a possible video or live stream if you're interested in that. I probably will be doing that this weekend, which will also be kind of a test to get streaming set up for Starfield. So yeah, if we get any more news when Starfield comes out, I will probably cover it, but I'm not going to make 100 videos on Starfield before it even comes out, because there's thousands of videos out there already covering almost everything. But I did want to make this as the timeline just came out, and it's a good start to my Starfield lore series that I will be doing. So stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys this weekend when I make my skit. Have a good one.